The comments coming in.
Ah.
Lovely, lovely. How exciting. We've got a gorgeous friend, a fellow entrepreneur, a fellow parent, and she's Sam. And I love her. I love what she does, and which is why I pick and choose the people that I invite to my precious group. Welcome to all the many new members have joined us. This is what we do. We usually do this every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., but we had a bit of a mix up in our calendar. And because this is broadcast live in our group, we know that you can access it anytime. So we are here with Sam, and today we're talking on a very powerful topic, which is power of vulnerability. And I've done webinars in the past on this topic on how important vulnerability is. And Sam and I are here today to share our own journey with the choice. So vulnerability is a choice we make. It's a very courageous choice. And as we do, and like anything courageous, it's stepping into the unknown. There's fear around rejection. There's fear of doing things you haven't done before, and whether you are going to feel the trust and confidence in yourself to keep through with it. So we do have to be vulnerable with ourselves before we are vulnerable with our kids. And I will allow gorgeous Sam to tell us a little bit about herself, a little bit about her business as well. She's got a gorgeous daughter, and she's going to share on her perspective on the power of vulnerability. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, thank you for that lovely introduction, Yolanda. Yes. So I guess a little bit about me. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a mindset coach, and I'm really passionate about working with people to help them, I guess, uncover their passions, step into their power, and live their purpose. And so I tend to work a lot with people that are struggling with anxiety, depression, and addiction, and everything kind of in between that. So from, you know, the single mama who's out there trying to make a living, and right through to, you know, the performance athlete or the CEO. And I guess the one thing that all of these people have in common is that everybody struggles from time to time, right? It doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, what your past is. We all go through a bit of struggle. And, you know, we're talking about today, I guess, the power of vulnerability. And, you know, the reason that I chose this as something that I wanted to share is, I don't know about all of you guys, but I certainly grew up in a time when, you know, we swept everything under the carpet. When we cried, we were told not to cry. It was like, pull, you know, big girl panties up, have a spoonful of concrete, harden up, toughen up, you know, she'll be right, all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but, you know, I certainly, as a young person, I guess, was taught unconsciously that vulnerability was not the done thing. You know, it was weakness. It made other people feel uncomfortable. You shouldn't do it. And so I pretty much spent my entire life going down that route. And truthfully, my first real experience, I guess, where I started tapping into the vulnerability was at a conference where I met beautiful Yolanda. And it was actually a business conference, supposed to be business conference. And here I found myself on the first day listening to this guy who was this big, strong, muscly, tough looking alpha male as he broke down on the stage and shared, you know, his history with addiction. And like, it just hit me. It hit me here in the heart. And I kind of went, okay, wow, this is huge. And I think that started cracking me open to this space of vulnerability and the power of it, and the power of speaking it.
I remember that, Sam. I remember that moment. I know who you're talking about. Wow. Yes, we do remember vulnerability stories around vulnerability because it touches us deep.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And power, you feel their power in that honesty. Wow.
Yeah. So that moment just cracked me open and definitely started me on the journey of really stepping into that. And, you know, I guess fast forward to today, I guess the reason I wanted to share this is I am a single mum and I have a beautiful 9-year-old daughter. And, you know, I'm really honest with her about what goes on in my life. And you know, recently we had a really tragic loss where we lost our little dog, and you know, and it was really horrible circumstances. We brought another dog into the family, and this other dog attacked our little dog that we'd had for 12 years and killed her. And I was distraught. Like, my heart was broken. I had to, like, I just honestly, in her entire lifetime, she's never seen me like this. Okay. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because in this moment, my little girl got the opportunity to step up and be there for me. Right. I didn't try and hide my emotions. Like, I was inconsolable. I was devastated, and she was sad as well. Right. But she leaned in, and she got the opportunity to step up and be like, it's okay, mum. And she consoled me. And I know that my parents wouldn't have let me see that. My parents would have thought they needed to keep a stiff upper lip for me. And the gift that my little girl got in that moment was seeing that vulnerability is okay, right? B, that she got to lean in and be there for me. And so, like, our connection just deepened in that 3-day time frame where I just, like I said, I was inconsolable. So I feel like, you know, parents, we're all doing the best we can with the resources we've got. Like, everybody in this group, you guys are parents, and, you know, like, I don't know about you guys, but I certainly didn't get the guidebook. My guidebook got lost in the mail when my little human came along. And so I certainly know that I don't know how to do things the right way, or even if there is a right way. But I know that that process that we went through, it was such a deep connection for the two of us, you know, and the relationship that we have because of that. And now I'm starting the whole online dating thing, and you know, that's tough as a single mum as well, right? Like, you know, I mean, my kid's with me all the time. When do you get the opportunity to date? And so she's met a few and been really disappointed that they haven't turned out to be who she thinks that they should be. And, you know, so I get to have that conversation with her.
I do believe we give our girls the opportunity. Can you hear me, Sam?
Yeah. You just dropped out. Sorry.
I do believe that we give our girls the opportunity to learn from that process when we are dating older, and they are you know, on this journey with us. So
yeah,
on my journey, I shared a lot with my girls for the purpose of giving them an insight on what we need to be, how we need to be putting ourselves first, how we need to identify our own needs. So brilliant opportunity to be vulnerable in that space, Sam.
Yeah.
So if you could leave our audience with 3 highlighted tips of what vulnerability would look like for a parent who has not gone there, who has not been taught, like many of us, it's never been modeled to us. And there's a bit of fear that we might be taken advantage of if we open ourselves and bear it all to our kids. And many of us raising teens can be pretty ruthless at times. So sorry to put you at the spot there with such a tough question, Sam, but I know you can handle it.
Thanks, Yolanda. So firstly, I would really just trust in your children that they probably know more than you do about vulnerability and being honest. My 9-year-old is constantly reminding me if I try and shut her emotions down, and I don't mean to, but she will say, Mum, I'm allowed to have feelings, don't you know? And stop shutting my emotions down. And so listen to what your kids are saying, because if you read between the lines, you might be surprised at how useful and helpful that can be. So that would be my first suggestion. Okay, just trust in your kids. And you just kind of mentioned, you know, like that you might be taken advantage of. Where your children are concerned, like I really believe there is only love and fear with anybody, for that matter, right? So if what you are seeing from your child is not love, then what you are seeing is fear. And if you understand that as a concept, then the antidote to fear is love. So if you're seeing fear from your child, lean in and give them love, right? If you're seeing love, then model it back, right? because at the end of the day, love is kind of the key. So, I mean, I don't know if that's 3 points, but trusting in your children for sure, trusting in yourself that one way or another you will work it out, and really just trusting that no matter what happens, you have the power to, in that moment, be authentic and truthful. And, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? Your children reject you. I guarantee they'll come back. They always come back, right? If you're your honest, authentic self and you wear your heart on your sleeve and you speak truth, they're going to come back.
And that was beautiful, Sam. That really ties it all in nicely. I just wanted to add this this point with, and especially because a lot of our parents here are being challenged with raising their teenagers. And so I think you did nail it on the head, where really what I heard you say is just love them. Love them unconditionally. And yes, it's hard to love and respect someone who isn't loving and respecting you back, but that's what we've come to this point, or this parenting journey allows us to go beyond what we would humanly do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
there's a really great, if you haven't heard of it before, there's a really great psychologist, and I'm not usually a huge fan of psychology as a modality, to be honest, because I think it's a bit out of date. But there's a really great psychologist called Dr. Shafali. And, you know, the conscious parenting and her model and the way that she talks, honestly, if you haven't got that book, like The Awakened Family and Conscious Parenting. If you haven't, I'm sure, because I know Yolanda, so I'm sure she's mentioned this before, but if you haven't got that book, that is just, you know, I've got it on Audible, I've got a hard copy, it's underlined, it's circled, and, you know, just trust in the fact that it's a work in progress, right? You're learning, your children are learning, and we teach our kids how to treat us, right? We also teach them how to treat themselves. So unfortunately for us, when they are standing up and being quite in our face, what they're actually doing is they're putting boundaries in place, and we don't like it. So then we tend to arc up. But if you can understand that what you actually want is your kids to put those boundaries in place and then not be so offended when they put them in place with you, that's kind of the key. And I think that's where, you know, there is so much power in vulnerability, because I think when you're honest with your children that you're struggling, you know, like, and I'll go back to this whole online dating thing, you know, with my daughter, like, you know, when she gets disappointed and I say to her, listen, you know, talk is cheap. People can talk, but their actions are what's important. And so I can show her that I might be disappointed, instead of going, well, it's all cool, you know, all men are bastards, or, you know, oh, it's all right, like, he didn't deserve me anyway, right? And that would be me, you know, not allowing myself to be vulnerable and showing her that maybe it affects me. And then she then goes on and models that behavior. So it's really important, I think, to just see everything as an opportunity, you know, see every interaction with your child and everything that's going on as an opportunity. And when they hurt you or disappoint you, let them know, right? Don't respond back with that anger. Go into a space of, you know, like, when you do that, I find myself feeling really disappointed and hurt, and, you know, let's talk about it. Like, because typically hurt people. So if your teenagers are hurting you, it's because they're hurting. And so you don't want to respond with that. You want to respond with, hey, like, let's open a dialogue, let's talk. And also their hormones are going crazy.
That's right.
Let's be honest. I don't know what teenage was like for you, but it wasn't great for a lot of us, right?
Oh, no, it wasn't at all. On this empowered parenting journey, there's that one step in between that that we kind of emphasize, or where our focus is before you can hold space for what how your child's showing up. We hold space for how we are showing up and what's coming up within ourselves. So empowered parenting is all about emotional resilience for the parent, in order to show up resiliently for your child and hold space for whatever's coming up with your child. So just wanted to round today's session up, because I know Sam's got to bolt out at 9:20, and I promised that she would. So just wanted to say to all of you watching, do put in the comment section if there was something that stood out for you today, what do you think about vulnerability? Or if there's any way that we can reach out to you, Sam, if you could share a link to your group. People
Yeah,
are
sure.
interested in what you're doing. I'll also mention that I have an event coming up on Friday, which is my masterclass, Parenting from Your Higher Self. And this is where we are tapping into how to hold space for your emotions, know what's coming up and how to make those choices where you come. Like Sam just mentioned, there's fear and there's love. And how do we choose love? We are taking you on a journey on how you can choose love. And yes, we do need to step into our higher selves, because in our human selves, we are reacting, but in our higher self, we are choosing love. So how you can more powerfully do that. And do you have an event coming up, Sam? Is there anything that our audience can do to get to know you more?
Look, probably the thing I would say at the moment is that I'm doing a lot of work. I'm just starting to build up in my YouTube channel. So if people want to find me, Sam BOWKER, BOWKER, and then just type in happy you, happy and the letter U, and you'll find me. So I'll definitely chuck some links in there. There's
Yes.
lots of things coming up. With COVID having kicked in now, I'm just in the process of moving some stuff online. So yeah, I'll keep everyone posted.
Wonderful. It's been so wonderful to have you, Sam. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks very much. Take care.